turns around and pretends like he didn't say them. You would be just as sickened and hurt and angry and frustrated, just as I am at at having people. What is this thing? First. Oh my gosh, I forget the name of it now. The First Care Act. No, First Step, something like that. Anyways, where it was supposed to be, Trump's version of putting into motion, lessening the terms for certain types of crimes, and everybody likes to tout that. What you don't get to tout, what you don't understand about that, is that the touting only applies to a certain subsection of criminals under certain codes, which is not a majority of the people that need to be getting out, that shouldn't be still in prison. Not only that, but all that does is take like 45 days off of the prison sentence. 45 days. And that's supposed to be some magical cure for the prison system? Before you guys tout things, before you guys rah-rah-ree-ree around a president, make sure you know all the details to the things that you're rah-rah-reeing about. I had somebody try to point that out to me, the First Step Act, and try to tell me, do I know what it is? So the person obviously didn't know me well, but that person also didn't know what the heck he was talking about. Because that First Step Act literally still, besides just taking 45 days off of the people that fall under the certain criminal codes, not only is it just that, but also it is disproportionately in favor of white folks over minorities. Even though, again, we are the only 13% of the population. We are a majority of the percentage per capita population in prisons. We are farmed through the system. It's supposed to be a situation, the First Step thing, where it's supposed to be able to stop the cycle of, and it's supposed to get people ready to live in society, because they're going to get 45 days knocked off of their sentence, and they're supposed to be able to get back into society, which 45 days on a freaking 20-year sentence, what the heck is that? But anyways, so it's really nothing, but 45 days, I guess you can appreciate 45 days if you live through prison that long, and you make it out, make it up to the 45-day part, okay, cool. But you're supposed to be learning how to melt back into society, and so that's supposed to be happening, except that if we're being disproportionately overlooked in that same First Step Act, then it does no good for us. If the majority of people that get to take advantage of that first step are not black and brown people, then why are you guys touting that they did that for us? It's not for us. Look at facts. Look things up. You guys are posting all kind of stuff. Trump did this, Trump did that, Trump did this, Trump did that. Look at the details of the thing, not just the fact that he said it and his cronies said it. But look the actual thing up, the actual law, the actual statute. Look those things up so that you can get the real answers. You guys are so in a hurry to want to grasp on to this freaking reality TV show dude that has... Anyway, I don't even want to talk about him. But the point is, you're so in a hurry to be on his side that what you end up doing is you end up overlooking all the facts, the pure facts that deal with this. And I'm just trying to figure out. Oh, hold on, I got something. Dean Johnson, hey brother. Since Jim Crow, the judicial system has become another form of slavery. In essence, look at petty drug laws. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, people are literally, they're falling for these things that he's saying, and they're not looking at the facts behind these things. Yes, for not only do those original laws that criminalized and then jailed more black people disproportionately, but even with this First Step care thing that the Trump followers are trying to tout. They're trying to say that that's something great for black people, but it's not. Because if you look up the underlying facts to that, again, like I said a minute ago, 45 days is the average of what it takes off of a sentence, but that's only sentences that fall under a certain code. It's not for the ones that fall under the code that they're farming. So because of that, you have to look at all of that. Now, not only that, but then it does disproportionately favor white people under that law, even though it was supposed to be set out to help black and brown people. But that's not what it's doing. So we stay in the cycle of the prison farming system, while other people are getting out on a law that, or on a bill that was supposed to be helping us. So, again, people, you have to pay attention to what actually people are saying to you. You got to stop letting these people pull the wool over your eyes. You got to stop letting people repaint and reinvent the things that we say so that they can fit your comfortability. Because I know everybody was waiting for a Trump to come along. Oh, you guys in the Midwest. Oh, you guys in the heart of the heartland and all that. Yeah, you were waiting for a Trump to come along. But guess what? He's not helping you either. Look, you're still getting the same unemployment check or lack of that everybody else is getting or not getting. Remember something. You folks on the farms, guess what? When you're on, and I'm not talking about prison system anymore. I'm talking about you farmers out there. Guess what? You got in a problem because you couldn't go back and forth with China and other places with the products that y'all used to go back and forth with. And why? Because Trump decided that he didn't like some crap and he put extra tariffs on top of extra tariffs last year. Remember? Tariffs and tariffs and tariffs. And guess what happened? It screwed up your business. It screwed up your farming business. It screwed up you having people that could pay for your stuff. Right? Then guess what he did? He lets that ride a little longer. He then puts a little shimmy on you and puts some other stuff in the limelight. And then guess what? Then he makes he makes some of his people go back and fix some of the stuff, not all, but some of the stuff that he messed up and pretends like he just fixed it. But he did it. He's the one who put you in the position in the first place. It'd be like me. Hanging out with one of you guys, and I go and I dump a whole box of cereal all over the floor. I create a mess, right? And then I take your attention away. I say, hey man, you know what? Let's just go for whatever walk or so on. And then I call one of my buddies online, like, yo, go in the house and clean up that cereal that I spilled for it, would you? And you get back and I'll be like, oh, yo, I handled this cereal business for you, man. It's all good now, right? And then you're like, yeah, high five. Obi, you did it, man. You got me. You hooked me up. That's awesome. But you forget, I'm the one who put the mess there in the first place. I'm cleaning up the mess that I created. And you're happy about that. Isn't that a little Twilight Zone-y? And that's what you guys are going through. I'm not saying all white people. I'm not saying that because I love white people. My mom's white. My daughter looks white. My baby's mom is white. So on. Okay, great. Whatever. What I'm saying to you, my favorite pastor's white. But what I'm saying to you is that you're being bamboozled, man. You're being tricked by a slippery tongue. He's telling you to F off, and then he's coming back and telling you that he didn't tell you to F off. And you're saying, all right, high five. What? What about this new thing where they're pretending like the pandemic has been something of the past? What is that? I mean, are you guys that gullible? Are you that gullible that whatever he says is gold? Look, maybe I do need to be a sellout and start me a, support Trump website and talk show and whatever, and maybe I'll make $1 million. If you guys will be that swayed where I can say all this today, and tomorrow I'll be like, hey, Trump. I'm so confused by you. America, what? No, not America as a whole. It's just white America. There is such a percentage. Listen, again, everybody who knows me understands I love white people, but again, there is this portion of white folks that just has to be stuck to this Trump thing. I don't know what it is. What is the glue? What is the magnetism? What is it that you like about this guy? What is it that makes him be able to spit in your eye and then you can still love him? What is that? It's amazing in a way. I mean, I don't like it, but I mean it's kind of crazy. It's people plus people are generally intellectually lazy. Trump is playing everyone, especially the low income and uneducated white people who vote for him. It's true. I mean, look, Dean. You know, I gotta have you on here one day. You can rap with me live. I'm getting ready to end here in a second, but because I already, this is like the third time I had to log back on, but it really is. It's sad because like today and yesterday, I haven't slept in 2 days, almost three, and I'm because of pain that I'm going through. And it got. By the way, you guys, please, I started a Facebook, thing where you guys can donate. I've sent videos and stuff. I got 5,900 and some odd friends. Please do me a favor and donate so that I can get my stellate ganglion blocks. Because I'm hurt like this, disabled chronic Lyme disease. Because of that, I have to get. There's no cure for this yet, so the only thing that's going to help reduce the pain that I go through is these stellate ganglion blocks, and it's a procedure that they would give me twice a month, where they stick this thing in my neck and they 30, 40 minutes put this numbing and whatever medicine down my spine, nerves, whatever, and then it relieves the pain for 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks later I go back, and this is something that I'm going to have to continue for a long time. So I'm asking you guys to please donate at least $10, more if you can, and then I have a friend who is matching all of your donations. Freaking awesome! This person is such a blessing. Asked me to keep her anonymous. Women are amazing. And but so she wants to be anonymous, but I'm telling you, she's going to match it. So if you give 10, it really equals 20. If you give 100, it equals 200. So please do me a favor and donate. You can either donate through the Facebook thing that I started today, or you can look at some of the other posts that I've posted for the past couple days. Has the other three links where you can give. But anyways, back to what I'm talking about here, and that is that we have to become the people that God intended us to be. And if you don't believe in God, whatever you believe in that's positive and productive is usually founded upon some basic principle of goodness and love for each other. And if you have those kind of principles, no matter what you believe in, I'm not here to be your judge. Whatever you believe in, if you have those type of principles, then you should be helping each other, loving on each other, and helping one another to progress. So if you're a white person who understands what I'm saying right now, and you're a white person that agrees with these principles about loving each other and to make sure that you fight racism and hatred, if you're that person, then you should be talking to other white people that aren't that way. And you should be doing your best, because what we do know is that, and this is obvious, we all know that if I say something to a white person, they might get it if I'm articulate enough, if I can find the right words, and if God places certain things to help it be effective. But we do know that if a white person talks to another white person about this, it will be received a little better. It's part of racism. It's just the way it is. And so because of that, you see that even with the protest, our protests are more effective when our white friends join us and stand with us. It's just the way it is. And so, you have to. Oh, thank you, Dean, man. No, this. I've been dealing with the Lyme thing since 2010. I didn't get diagnosed until 2015. So at that point, it was too late. I did do the PICC line and that strong antibiotic bulbs that I used to have to do, and a nurse would come and change it out and do blood tests and all this stuff. I used to go through all that, and then after doing that for almost 2 months, it was just not effective. It was too late. And so until they come up with a cure, then this is what I have to deal with. And so you'll notice on different shows, if you look at some of the past episodes, where I have to move kind of funny while I'm doing it, and doing different maneuvers while I'm talking because the head hurts, or like I have my glasses on now, halfway because of I was crying earlier, and then halfway because my head hurts, and so on. So not for sympathy, just wanting you to know what's up. And if you look at my Facebook from before the pandemic started, you'll see I was walking people through all the things that I was going through in this Lyme disease battle. And a lot of people have helped and so on. But I am at this new point now where I do need people to donate. So whatever your heart and your spirit tells you to give, please do so. But at least $10, because then anything $10 and above, my friend is going to match. And that's just freaking awesome. That's a blessing. So, and this is something that I'll have to do forever. But again, back to what I was saying, I really implore that you go to I'm challenging my white friends to go to your other white friends and explain to them these principles of goodness, these principles of loving on each other, these principles of caring about each other, these principles of fighting against racism. It's not just good enough to be nice to us, you guys. It's only good enough to be effective and move and to be. That's why I call this food for action, because I don't want anybody to take the things I say, think about them, ponder about them, and then agree or not agree, and that's that. I want it to be an action, one way or the other. If you don't agree with me and you just want to be a hate monger, then go hate people, whatever. I'm not whatever for real, but I'm just saying if that's what you're led to do. But if you do agree with me, and even if you don't agree all the way, even if you agree on some things, you should take those some things and then put it into action. And so I call this food for action for that purpose, because we're supposed to be talking to each other, with each other, listening, talking, formulating, assessing, and then what's the word I say all the time? I usually some people say they have to sit with something. I have to whatever the word is. Anyways, so you sit with the thoughts and you try to form a reasonable action that you're capable of carrying out. Rather it's talking to your friends, rather it's actually going out and sharing some experience with black folks so that you can literally understand a little more. So on. There is a big difference between how our lives function in the United States and all over the world. Really, it is different. People like to say it's not different. It is. It is different. It is different. It is the same reason why in the old movies and even now sometimes when the villain wears black and the good guy wears white. Why is that? Do you see what I'm saying? There's a thing that is subliminally taught to us, intentionally or unintentionally. I don't care which one of those you subscribe to, but it is what it is, and it exists, and we have to acknowledge these things, not forget about the past, not move on from the past, move forward with knowledge of the past, so that you can change what was there, because we have to know in our minds, in our hearts, and our spirits that we have enough tools and enough knowledge to understand how to take it apart along with other people. If you don't know what it's made up of, if you don't know how it began, if you don't know the steps that it went through to get us where we are now, then it's impossible for you to be able to help to cure it. You can't just sit around talking about, ooh, much love, Grateful Dead and all that. I mean, I love those guys and everything and whatever, and hippies and all that. That's cool. But the problem is, that's not solving the problem. That's not curing the hundreds of years worth of systematic and systemic racism that is embedded in our laws, in our rules, in our culture, schools, education, schools, law, judicial system, policing, manufacturing, corporate, medical. It's not changing that just to sit around and say, I love you, I love you. No. Because you have to make other people, not make, but you have to be able to encourage people based on a knowledge of what's happening. Hold on a second. My phone is. Hold on. Let me see. I gotta turn my phone off. Hold on. Power off. Power off. Power off. Okay. So, anyways, so, um, yeah, you have to be able to put all of the ingredients that make up. So it's just like cooking. I love to cook. I don't know if you guys love to cook. So let's make a little light section of this. When you cook, you know, for most people, I want to believe that the reason that you fell in love with cooking and you fell in love with food is because somebody made something that just tantalized your and just did something wonderful when you ate their food. For me, it's baked macaroni. And my grandma passed away in heaven, but her on my dad's side, her fried chicken. It was greasy as hell. It was whatever, but it was just the most delicious. And the baked macaroni, oh my goodness! My dad taught my mom how to cook, and I know how to cook. But anyways, the point is that that sparked me because there was such flavor, and so because that is that way, I had to know where that came from. Just like everybody in the kitchen, you have to understand how the macaroni became the macaroni. You have to understand how the fried chicken became the fried chicken. You're not eating feathers. You're not eating a beak. You're eating this thing that looks damn good and smells good. Look like a warped drumstick. That's why they call it a drumstick. And it tastes really good. Not because it just as naturally comes that way. Like you're not going to sit down and go on a farm and just strangle a chicken and then take a bite and it tastes like Kentucky Fried. That's not how it happens. You can't bake a cake without knowing the ingredients that go in the cake. Same thing for life. We can't solve or create a new equal United States or an equal country, all created equal that we try to espouse. We can't create that without understanding the ingredients that created the world we live in now. And until each and every one of us on this earth understands that, or at least the majority of us, and that means us black people and you white folks, and other nationalities too, but especially these two because there's been the dynamic between black and white people has just been the most at odds and the most crushing in this country. So, anyways, that aside, so we have to in order to rid this country of the concepts that were created and embedded by racism, we have to understand how it was applied in the first place. So that means that we have to school each other. It's like our brother's keeper. We got to love on each other, and we have to make sure that all of us and all of our friends and all of our co-workers and anybody that we're come into contact with understands how this came to be. And we're not going to be effective to everybody, but we have to do our part. If we can reach somebody, we do it. That's the only way that's going to happen. And everybody has to do that part. Nobody has the right or the comfortability to sit around and just let things play out. Because if you're just doing that, then shut up about telling me to shut up. You know what I'm saying? All you folks, because trust me, I get nasty messages as well as nice ones. And I get a lot of nasty ones in Messenger and text messages and whatever else, because I put my phone number out there. I don't care. I got strength for that. I'm good. But people say a lot of nasty, hateful things, and that's because nobody is telling them any better. And maybe I'm not the voice that's going to affect them. Maybe it's going to be yours. But if you're not speaking up, then maybe it's going to be nobody. So then the country doesn't move anymore. It's the same reason why we keep going in this circle. We keep on having black people murdered and murdered and murdered and murdered and murdered and murdered and murdered. And then you pay attention, you pay attention, you pay attention, and then you stop paying attention, and then more murders, and then you pay attention again. And do you see what I'm saying? And it's an endless cycle of hatred, bigotry, and racism, systemically built and founded and tightly woven by your refusal to step up. It's not just the Klan and the white nationalists that are hurting us. That is what you guys have to come to grips with. It is any white person that does not stand up for us. Bottom line. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. Listen, I love you guys. Please go back and listen to this one because I said a bunch of stuff earlier. There's like 3 different versions. I'm going to make sure they're all up there. Well, not different versions, but different things because the computer stopped. And so I'm going to put everything, make sure that everything's up there so you can look through it. It's important that, I'm not going to bring up, I'm not going to talk about another black life today because I think I've talked about enough. But it's important that you guys go back and listen to this stuff. Let it sink in. I'm not trying to be your teacher or control you or any of that stuff. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to or not trying, I hate the word try. I'm attempting to communicate a reality to you that you might not understand. And I believe that this is what I believe God is telling me, which is the reason why He led me to do this in the first place. Because I'm great on a stage, or used to be. I could go on a stage and I can sing all kind of stuff and jump off, I used to do all kind of stuff before I got sick. But I could do all kind of stuff like that, and drums and whatever. But I wasn't a orator. That's an orator, however you say it. But so that wasn't my thing. But I was led to do this because of the pain that was brought back to me. And I always tell people that I come in contact with when we get this close is that I grew up seeing racism. My father is black and my mother is white. And as much as they tried to protect us from some stuff, they couldn't protect us from everything. Because we got school to go to, playgrounds to go to. We've seen our mother be called, excuse me for saying it, but we've seen my mom be called nigger lover. We've been called, what's my mom doing with those nigger kids? Or nigger babies. We've had all that happen. And so, and then as growing up, used to have white folks chasing us with guns because we were dating white girls. So I've been through this. White police pull me over, smash my head up against the car for doing nothing. Literally nothing. Like being in a car with other folks that so-and-so sped. They tell everybody get out the car because I'm in the car with a bunch of white people in Hanahan, South Carolina. And then I get my head smashed against the window. As the only black person, they didn't hurt none of the white people. So I've been through it. I've lived it. And so we have to find a way to get this reality into the minds and the hearts of everybody. Or at least, again, a majority. Because in this country, a majority rules. And so we see that in government and we see that in civilian life. So I beg you guys and I ask you and plead with you to please go out, brothers and sisters, black folk, my black people, please continue the fight. My white people, please join the fight. Stand with us and fight. And then when you're not with us, when you're not around us, please spread the word and talk to some of your other white friends. Get them to understand. If you can't, talk to another white person who understands and see if they'll talk to your friends. But we have to start a chain of communication. This is about a chain of communication that allows the word to go down the pipe to get to the most hateful of hateful to see how effective we can be. If we do nothing, nothing will be fixed. If you want to hear me and other black folks stop talking about this, then you must stand with us to fight this. That's it. If you don't stand with us, you're going to be hearing my annoying mouth and many hundreds and thousands of annoying mouths till the end of my life, till I don't breathe no more. And I'm sure my daughter will keep doing it, and my brother's daughters and sons and friends and sons and daughters and so on. And so, it has to be an action, and it has to be an action that's perpetrated by everyone, not just someone, not just me, not just black folk, but white folks too. You can be very effective in this fight. You see it in the protests that happened after George Floyd's murder and Ahmaud Arbery's murder, Breonna Taylor's murder. You've seen that. Just imagine if you were in my shoes and you've seen hundreds of these murders happen. You guys are just getting a piece of it. I've been alive for hundreds of black people's murders, inhumane murders and lynchings. I've been alive for that. My heart is broken over and over for that. You guys are just getting a taste of it. Sounds ugly, but that literally is what it is. We're not complaining just about the lives that you've seen taken in the past, August, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So in the past 7 months, because I think that's when the pandemic started, and the first thing that you guys saw national media-wise since Rodney King, probably. But we see it all the time, and so this is not new for us. It's just more heartbreak. It's more pain. It's more mental anguish. It's more reason that we have to be so careful the minute we decide that we're going to walk out the door. It is probably one of the reasons why, since I've been sick, I'm not in a hurry to walk out the door. I can't run now, so if I got in a situation like Ahmaud Arbery, I'd just be dead. Because I can't run away. Ain't no running here right now. So, I'm in my house. I wish I could march. I wish I could be out there with a bullhorn talking to people. Microphone on the city hall steps and stuff. I wish I could be doing that. But I'm doing this. This is the part that I can do physically. And I'm asking you guys to do something too. I'm asking my black people to do something. I'm asking my white people to do something. Let's stand together for real. Like the real version of standing together. That means actually standing. That means on your feet. That means not on your knees or well, you can do that for protesting, but not on your butts. Not in a chair, but get up. If you have the ability to stand and you have the ability to walk, you should be using those two actions to help black people achieve something. Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Dean, and Brother Joe, and Amanda, and anybody that I missed, I'm sorry. But I love you guys. I thank you for tuning in. Make sure you look at all of the parts of this. I'm going to try to arrange them, or at least I'll make sure I label them all so that you can, if you want to share with anybody else, please do. I'm going to say one more time, please don't forget to give. You can either give through Facebook, you can give through Venmo, you can give through PayPal, you can give through, Cash App. Let's see. Let me see if I can say them again. So on Facebook, I created a new thing today, so it would be easier for some people if they don't want to do it privately. They want to do it, on Facebook so they can see what it's doing. Then that's fine. You'll see that on this page. If you want to give it Venmo, my Venmo address is Augustus-Morant. That's AUGUSTUS -Morant. My Cash App is after that $ thingy, it's OBIEALLEGRA. That's all capitals, Obi Allegra. And then for PayPal, when you get on PayPal, you would just go to obiallegra@gmail.com. That's OBIEALLEGRA ALLEGRA@gmail.com. Again, I appreciate you guys taking part. I know a lot of people didn't say anything, but I've seen a lot of people coming in and out of this, so I appreciate you guys for taking part, for joining in. But let's fight. Let's join the fight now. Let's do it. All right. If you guys have any opinions, you have any comments, you have any things that you want to talk to me about, you can reach me through Messenger. You can add little things to the stems here. You can my phone number is on my profile, so you can call. I don't know if I'll be able to answer all the time, but you can at least text. So that's texting, messaging, Instagramming. So there's plenty of ways to do it. So please do that. And then also, please donate to help me get these stellate ganglion blocks. They're very, 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 very crazy expensive. And I am about tapped out. I have a friend that is willing to match every donation that's made so I can get these stellate ganglion blocks. They're twice a month that I have to get them. It's a 30-40 minute procedure where they put this stuff through my front of my neck and down my spine to get nerves. It's basically going to take care of the cervical, upper back, arms, upper extremities, to help reduce the pain. I have a stimulator in my lower back, electronic stimulator implant. So that helps a good bit with the lower pain. So I'm asking you guys to please help me do that. Help support that cause, because I have to do it twice a month till God gives a brilliant doctor a cure for chronic Lyme disease. Again, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Thank you guys very much for taking part in the conversation. Please get out there and be active. Get out there and do it. Do it for your kids. The post that I did earlier in the week, no child is born a racist. I have never in my life looked at a little baby and the little baby, throws up a middle finger and says the N-word. I've never seen it. Have you seen it? I've seen some people create some little memes. I don't know how they do those things, but you know what I mean? It's just not. It's not a natural trait of a human being. It's not a natural trait because God didn't make us that way. God didn't create us to hate people. God didn't create us to look at a person that's darker than us and want to murder. He don't put that in us. That's not God. If that's part of your makeup, that's something that somebody else a human being helped you create that. And then you, as you grew up, you never let go of that. If that's what you subscribe to. So I'm challenging everybody to wake up. Challenge your own thoughts. Read some books. Try to a lot of people are maybe sadistic and so on. So how about this? How about try to prove me wrong? Let's do that. I don't care about being right, but maybe that could be a motivation for you. Maybe you don't agree with what I'm saying. So then prove what I'm saying to be wrong. I've given you stats. You can look back on all the episodes. This is episode 23. You can look back on all the previous 22 episodes. Find some stuff in those episodes that you believe is wrong, and then call me out on it. Let's do that. If that challenge works for you, do that. If you don't need that challenge, then just do me a favor. Stand with us. That's it. Okay? I love you guys. Do this thing. Help heal the nation. I know that sounds kind of corny, but do it. Be proactive. Become an anti-racist is basically what I'm telling you. Anti-racist. That means a person that is actively involved in stamping out racism. That means a person that is actively involved in showing and proving and denouncing racism. Proving that they are not a racist. You can't just say it anymore. It's no good. It's not, that's something people used to do back in the day when I was a kid. You can't do that anymore. It's not "Oh, I'm not a racist," and then the world's fine. No. If you're not a racist now, you got to step up. You got to step up and fight racism. If it exists and it's hateful, you're supposed to be fighting against it. I'm sorry I said supposed to. That's, I don't know. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. Take care of each other, man. And pray for the families of those who have been murdered. And pray for the hearts of those doing the murdering, those doing the racist things, that those hearts will be healed and changed for the rest of our days. All right. I love you guys, and I'll see you Sunday. Take care of yourself. God bless. I'll see you Sunday. Same black time, same black channel.